Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt and I like video games. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about the pricing of these next gen consoles, so stay tuned. So as we all know, Sony shocked the world and surprised everybody the other day by announcing 2 SKUs of the PS5. I didn't see this coming at all, but this is great news for gamers. And as we all know by now, there are rumors of an Xbox Series S, a less capable machine than the Xbox Series X, but likely built for 1080p and 1440p gaming at 60 FPS. And if this all turns out to be true, then that sets us up for one hell of a pricing war. Now, it is not confirmed if the PS5 All Digital has any other cutbacks outside of the removal of the disk drive. So as of now, I am basing this entire video on the idea that the PS5 All Digital is the exact same machine as the regular PS5, but without a disk drive. And if the rumors about Sony having a difficult time pricing the machine is true, and were to assume that the regular PS5 is $500, then I would assume that the all-digital version is maybe $450, maybe $400 if they're really aggressive with their pricing. Now this would put Microsoft in a very intriguing position in terms of the Xbox Series X. I mean, I've always been of the belief that the Xbox Series X will cost $500. And that's not saying I don't see a reality in which it could be $600, but I just feel like most gaming companies know that $600 is too much to ask of the consumer. And nobody knows this more than Sony, who, as we all remember, launched the PS3 at $600 in the US and people were furious. Kids were upset because they couldn't convince their parents to pay that much for a console, and parents were confused as to how a console could even cost that much. And all of this is why I think Microsoft will go with $500 at launch for the Xbox Series X. That being said, now that we know Sony has 2 different SKUs of the PS5, I could see Microsoft going low with their pricing and taking an initial loss at launch and going in at $400. My reasoning for this is simple. If PlayStation 5 has 2 SKUs and they are both identical with the exception of the disk drive, then it puts Microsoft in a weird spot with their rumored Xbox Series S. We can assume that if the Xbox Series S is a 1080p 1440p capable machine as opposed to the 4K powerhouse that is the Xbox Series X, then the Xbox Series S could very well be $299. And this would be a steal for anyone upgrading from an original Xbox One or even an Xbox One S. This would also be a great deal for a Sony fan who wants to buy a PS5 first and then an Xbox as their secondary console. But if the PS5 All Digital is sitting in between the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X in pricing, then I think it could tempt Microsoft into slashing their price from $500 to $400 just to match the All Digital. Now, hardcore Xbox fans like myself and people like myself already know they're getting the Series X regardless of the price. But for someone who was on the fence about which console to get, this stuff really matters to them, and both Microsoft and Sony know this. And I also think that Microsoft is in a better position to take a loss on the hardware because they've got that Game Pass and Windows money coming in. Because keep in mind that Microsoft Windows is the leading operating system among PCs. Which, side note, is why I find it hilarious when people say, why would I buy an Xbox when I can play all of their games on PC? And when someone says that, I just say go ahead. It's still money in Microsoft's pockets at the end of the day, unless you go with Linux or Ubuntu or some crappy OS like that. And if you do that, then you won't be playing many games at all, let alone Microsoft games. But my whole point is that Microsoft makes crazy money outside of the console space every year. And that's not to say that Sony doesn't make a ton of money, because Sony does make a ton of money, and they are worth a ton of money. In fact, their net worth is $76.5 billion. And you might be thinking that seems like a lot until you realize Microsoft's net worth is $1.4 trillion. Microsoft can stand to lose some money on a console for a few months. Their bottom line will be just fine. And I'm not saying that they will lose money on the console, I'm just saying that they can if they choose to. So my realistic final guess for the price of these consoles is $500 for the Xbox Series X and the PS5, $400 for the PS5 All Digital, and $299 for the Series S. But I could also see a reality in which the prices are $500 for the PS5, $400 for the Series X and the PS5 All Digital, and $299 for the Series S. All in all, no one knows how much these things are going to cost until one of these companies blinks first in this game of chicken that they're playing. But it is fun to speculate about what we think they will cost. But what are you guys thinking? How much do you think the Xbox Series X and Series S will cost? And how much do you think the PS5 and PS5 All Digital will cost? Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. I'd be more than happy to respond and converse with people. Leave a like if you like the video, and please subscribe if you would be so kind. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.